Welcome to another episode of Everything's Dumb. My name is Kate.
My name is Victoria.
And today we are going to be talking about leaf blowers. Mm-hmm. And how dumb they are.
Mm-hmm.
But first, hey Victoria. It's been a minute since we've recorded a podcast episode. Anything new with you at all? Just any, I don't know, is that a new shirt? Or are you doing your hair differently? Something seems different and I can't quite put my finger on it.
A few things are different.
Oh.
Funny you ask. So a few episodes ago we did a really fun, concise, like well thought out episode.
Feel good, peppy.
About applying to jobs.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was not at all just a deep pit of despair. In podcast form. Yeah, but I actually got the job that I had applied for.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did. This is a fully employed woman right here.
Exactly.
Fully, gainfully employed.
I have a full-time job.
Yes. I mean, sorry.
I'm already exhausted.
My condolences / congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, anything else? I mean, that's huge. Obviously,
yes.
Getting a job, especially after being unemployed for so long, is so huge and monumental and life-changing. I can't imagine that anything else has changed for you as well.
Well, I also moved into a new apartment.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you where I moved to.
Wait a second. We used to live on the same exact street. We were like twinning with our addresses. We lived in the same apartment number. We lived on the same street. Are you moving away from me? You've gone further away from me?
Oh no, bitch. I am as close as I can possibly be without being your little roommate. I moved into the apartment above you.
Right.
I am now Kate's upstairs neighbor.
Right up there?
Yep.
Bing, 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 bing.
Right upstairs. My bed, my glorious, lovely king-size bed. I don't know why I got a king-size bed. I was...
Because you can.
I was
you
feeling,
got that new job.
What's the word? Decadent?
Yes.
So I bought a king-size bed, and it is massive. It feels like a joke every time I walk in my room and I see it. I'm like, this was like... It was like a gag gift idea, but now it's permanent.
Wouldn't it be funny if I
and
got
it's
a
there? Exactly. It was like... I told someone I was doing it as a joke, but then I actually did it.
Nice.
It's so big.
You follow through on your jokes sometimes.
Exactly.
And it's right there.
Sometimes.
Like, we are recording in my apartment, in my bedroom, as you can hear the planes.
Yes.
And
That's
she's
still going on.
just a little closer to those planes. She's just right up there.
I'm right there.
Your apartment is right above me, which is insane. And this is something that we have dreamed of for years.
Yeah, we've been, like, scheming about this.
Because I have lived here for so long, and I've gone through many upstairs neighbors, and there was always this joke of, like, God, Victoria would always say, like, I would be the best upstairs neighbor.
Yeah.
I would never do that if I was your upstairs neighbor. You would never hear a peep out of me.
Yeah.
And now I get to put that to the test.
Well, yeah, yesterday I said that I vacuumed, and you were like, I know. I was like,
that
oh,
was
fuck.
a joke. I actually didn't know that you had vacuumed.
Okay, good.
I do realize that it is like we're roommates, but with different kitchens and different bathrooms, which is kind of like an ideal roommate situation.
Exactly.
But I do know way too much about you now. Like, I can. It's just an old building, and so you, like, the floor just creaks. Like, the floor just creaks. It's not, like... It's something that I've just become accustomed to, and I used to just drown it out because I never cared about who was upstairs, and now I hear the floor creaking, and I'm like, that's my friend Victoria up there. And
okay, at least you're happy and excited.
I am for now.
You're not like, God damn it.
We'll see. No,
She's home again.
I do realize, like, because our bedrooms are on top of each other, like, I know what time you wake up in the morning because I hear you walking around. And I just didn't ever think about that before, but... Now I know way too much about you. Like, you really can't ever lie to me about not being home.
No.
Unless you learn how to levitate.
Yeah. If you ever want to hang out, and I can't ever be like, oh, I'm still at work, or like, oh, I'm out running errands.
Nope.
You'll be like, no, you're not.
Yep.
I can literally hear you. Although
you can't tell me that's Bobby.
Yeah, once I bring my cat over. My cats. What are the odds that Pac will watch this?
She has one cat. It's just, I mean, if you have two cats that look the same, that's basically having one cat.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the big deal?
Once I have, like, Bobby running around, then I could blame it on him.
That's true. You just have to, like, learn how to make it sound like you're 4 tiny footsteps.
Yeah.
Like, if you just run really fast.
Yeah.
From one room to the next, I might mistake you for your cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A 17-pound cat instead of a 100-pound grown woman. But yeah, so now I'm your upstairs neighbor, and it feels... So I got the job offer. Like, I interviewed for the job, and then there was a, like, 3-day weekend, and I remember on that Monday being like, when are they going to contact me? Like, I want to know if I got the job or not so badly.
You came here and said that.
Yeah.
You came over to my apartment to, like, print something off or do something, and you were like, I just really want them to know. And it was, like, the first of the month, too.
Yeah.
And I was like, they are not looking at your application.
Yeah.
This is, like,
it's a company where, at the beginning of the month is absolute... like chaos.
And so
so I think I came over here on Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because Monday they had off, and then Tuesday I went to the gym, and then I came here, and I was all like sweaty and gross sitting in your living room being like, I want this job, why won't they call me? And you were like, it's their first day back after a 3-day weekend. Yeah. Like, give it until the end of the week.
Right.
Like, it's fine.
Before you start
And then I left here, and then I was like, if I get the job, I can get the apartment upstairs, because your upstairs neighbor had just moved out.
Just available. It was like the stars were aligning perfectly.
Yeah, he had just left. And then I walked across the street to go home. I lived like 2 blocks away. And as I was walking through my front gate, my phone rang. And I normally don't answer, calls from unknown numbers, because why would you? But I was expecting a call about the job interview. So I answered the phone, and the lady was like, hi, this is so-and-so. Like, we want to offer you the job. And I was like out in front of my apartment picking up like an Amazon package on the phone, and I almost screamed. I was so excited. I had to like compose myself. But I, accepted the job over the phone, and then I went inside and immediately texted you, and like in all caps, like, guess who just got a motherfucking job? And then you immediately called me, and we were like yelling on the phone for I think a solid half hour. We were so excited. It was really exciting. And then the very next day they sent me an offer letter for the job, like an official letter. And then I wrote to the management company of this building and applied for the apartment, and I sent them the offer letter as proof that I would have a substantial income, and they approved me right away.
It
and
worked.
Now I live here.
It worked.
It worked.
That worked.
Shit like this never
works.
But
it does. Maybe we can just keep making it work.
Exactly.
This podcast is just going to be gigantic.
Yeah, so in the month of June, I started a new full-time job after being unemployed for way too long. I moved apartments, and we put out our podcast.
Yeah.
So I have not
a
gotten...
bad month.
It's been a great month. I really need some sleep.
That can come in other months down the line.
That sounds like a July issue.
Maybe an August-y sort of on the books.
But yeah, it's been busy and it's been fun. So
life-changing?
Yes.
Like any one of those things is like a life-changing event.
Yeah.
And
the podcast is so much fun because I don't dislike my job. It is extremely busy. There's a lot to do every single day, and you have, a to-do list of like 6 things, and by the end of the day, you have a to-do list of 20 things. Yep. And you're like, I feel like I worked really hard for 10 hours today. I'm not sure why my to-do list grew.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is just very stressful and busy. But to have the podcast, which is so much fun. Like, there's no part of the podcast that I don't like.
Yeah.
I like recording it. I like editing it. I like putting it out and having our friends tell us how great it is. It'll be nice when we get some listeners who aren't our friends.
Well, listeners who become our friends.
Exactly.
This is just our way to make
That's
our
what
friends,
I meant,
guys.
yes. I didn't mean that we don't like you.
No.
I meant it'll be nice when some people listen who we don't already know.
Who we will just grow our friend base with this. That's all we're trying to do.
That'd be great. And then we can make friends all around the world, and then, surprise, you can host us for the weekend.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, speaking of friends, congratulations on your new job.
Thank you.
You are now going to have coworkers.
Yes.
And so, as promised, from a previous episode, here is your gift.
Oh my god!
The funniest joke book ever. because I think we figured out in that Applying for Jobs episode that maybe not having coworkers for a few extended periods of time.
Like, melted my brain.
Yeah, maybe
you
forgot
said I wasn't funny
how
anymore.
to be. Well, this is going to help. I got you the proper tool, the funniest joke book ever. I feel like this is
and you promised that would be my gift.
Yep, I did, as promised, and I hold up my end of the promise.
You sure did. That's great.
A little sampling. What do you call a prehistoric pig?
Oh, I don't know.
Jurassic pork.
I like that.
Why couldn't the gnome pay his rent?
No, I don't know.
He was a little short.
Oh, he was a little short. Oh, I like that one too. I love jokes like that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So you have, I don't know how many pages, 128 pages.
Oh my God.
Of fun to share with your new coworkers.
Callie is going to love this.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
New neighbor / kind of roommate.
Yeah.
So now our address is exactly the same, except for one number.
Except for the apartment number. You said you wanted this, so I don't want to hear anything about how you wish Victoria didn't live in your building.
Oh, I would never say that loud enough for you to be able to hear. Don't worry.
Okay.
Love you.
I better not hear that you've said that to anyone, or else I'll become very heavy-footed.
Stomp.
That's right. I have a lot of power over you now.
That's true. You and Bobby.
We'll team up.
I can't wait to hear Giada's little pitter-patter of feet and Bobby's big clunk. Okay, so today we are talking about leaf blowers because they blow and I hate them. A little bit of backstory on how leaf blowers became so prevalent. You can actually find a lot of this. This is something that I remember reading on Twitter years ago when Twitter was still a thing. And it was one of those things that just made sense, just like a little blurb about the history of like urban planning guides in our country. And I wasn't quite sure if it was true, but it made sense. And then the stand-up comic Hannah Einbinder, who is the main girl in the show Hacks.
Okay.
She did a stand-up special on HBO Max called Everything Must Go, and she has this whole bit. It's a hilarious stand-up special. You should go watch it. But she has this whole segment of her stand-up special that is about this thing that I saw on Twitter about how many urban planting guides from the United States Department of Agriculture bulletins in the mid-20th century recommended male trees to be planted in urban areas over female trees because they were seen as low-maintenance options. The reason that the male trees are low-maintenance options is because the female trees bear seeds and fruit. And so seeds and fruit fall from the trees onto the sidewalks, and there's all this mess all over the sidewalks and stuff falls on your car. There's more maintenance with female trees.
Okay.
So some asshole back in the day decided that every single thing planted in any urban area should just all be male, so we don't have to deal with the seeds and the fruit. And unfortunately, the things that male trees contribute that aren't seeds and fruit are the fucking pollen.
Yeah.
So all of these urban areas became giant pollen machines because typically in a normal environment, when there is a mix of male and female trees, the male trees release the pollen that then gets absorbed by the female trees. And then that is what gets dropped in the seeds. They take all of the pollen out of the air and they filter the air.
Okay.
And then that goes into a seed. All of the pollen, all of the everything goes into a seed that then just drops to the ground that can be easily cleaned up.
Okay.
But instead what we have done is created a whirlwind of nothing but pollen in the air and nothing to capture it. So this has led to rising rates of seasonal allergies, asthma, especially in urban populations, and the term botanical sexism.
Oh, of course.
Was coined by horticulturist Tom Ogren, who is obviously a feminist ally, to describe the imbalance of how every tree, every shrub, everything is male in every urban area.
Did that just not occur to them at the time? Like, do they not know how trees... I mean, I didn't know that about trees, but you would expect that a horticulturist,
yes, working for the United States Department of Agriculture, like an actual professional at the highest level in our country, maybe could have thought about...
You would think that they would know that.
Pollen being everywhere.
Yeah, you have pretty bad allergies, right?
Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. I don't know many people that enjoy the pollen in the air, or the sound of the leaf blowers, because what happens is that the leaf blowers then, instead of just being able to clean up, like, seeds or something, which again, brooms exist. I remember brooms. I've used a broom before. They're not difficult to operate. Rake.
They're very like low tech, simple.
I grew up raking the leaves in the yard.
Me too.
That was just a thing that you did on the East Coast.
We had a massive yard, like front and back. Like I grew up on a little bit of land. Yeah. Because, like I've said, I grew up in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Metropolis of.
But we would rake leaves from basically September to December.
Right.
Like,
it was just
every
something
weekend.
You did. It was like shoveling the snow.
Leaves. Yeah.
We don't fucking take leaf blowers out. I'm giving people ideas now. And just blast the snow over. Like, why? You can shovel snow. You can rake leaves. You can sweep the stuff. Like, I just don't understand. Because then when you blow it around, where does it... It's not like you're blowing it into
back into
something.
The air.
Yes.
Yeah, so companies like property management companies hire gardeners to take care of their specific property. Right. So they bring in their leaf blower and they blow all the pollen and leaves off of their property, and it just goes into the street or the people next door or whatever. And then they have their own gardeners and they do the same thing. Yep. And it's like, this stuff isn't going anywhere. It's just getting blown around. And especially if you have allergies, which luckily I don't, but like you do. My very good friend George gets... every single year, he gets deathly ill. Yeah. And he's always like, oh, I'm coming down with something. I'm like, babe, you just have allergies.
Take an allergy pill.
You just have allergies.
Oh, I've done that before when
Every year he gets sick.
I mean, I got allergies where it was like, oh, my nose is running, my eyes are itchy or whatever. But there were a few times where I like thought I was sick and I kept taking cold medicine. I was like, I don't usually get... knock on wood, I don't usually get that sick that often, and usually a cold medication will like kick it whatever. And for days I was like, I'm not getting worse, but I'm not getting better, and then I take one allergy pill and it goes away, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. I didn't even realize it does feel like you actually just have a cold or something. Right. So, welcome to the apartment building, just so you know. Thursdays and now Saturdays, they also have people come and do the gardening, which is basically just the leaf blowing, because we have fake grass out front, so they never have to cut the grass, which I love. I mean, fake grass has gotten so much better nowadays, but the only thing that they really do is blow the fucking shit around. Right. Like, all they do. And so... we have people come on Thursdays. The next door neighbors, because it's just a chain link fence that separates our building from the next building, the next door neighbors have their people come on Wednesdays, which I'm pretty sure it's the same people, honestly, that just come and do the entire street. But the next door neighbors' apartment building, their property management has them come on Wednesdays, and they blow everything over here through the chain link fence. And then on Thursdays, they come back and blow everything back to the other side.
If it's the same company, then they are just collecting a paycheck and they don't give a fuck.
Absolutely. Why would they say, like, we could just clean this up and then we wouldn't have to go there on Thursdays? Right. Absolutely not. They're going to take advantage of it. But what are we doing? Like, what
That's so stupid.
Are we doing here? Like, this isn't accomplishing anything. I mean, granted, I'm happy to be on the Thursday side because they only get one day of, like, a nice clean pathway. But then they come back on Saturdays. Like, I just hate... I live on the ground floor. I can never have my windows open or my doors open all day. It's just impossible. Either from the sound or just the cloud of pollen that will just sweep into my apartment if I keep my screen door closed and my regular door open or my windows open. Like, it's just disgusting. And it's so prevalent here in LA. It's every single day, even if it's not our apartment or the apartment next door, it's the apartment across the street.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Like, it's
every day you can hear a leaf blower.
Constant. It's so annoying.
It just adds to the noise of the city. But, cars and stuff like that, we live in LA, everyone drives. Cars, whatever. Yeah. When I hear, like, people blasting music from their apartment, I'm like, that feels like unnecessary sound. Like, headphones are a thing.
It also goes by quicker.
Yeah.
Like, someone driving their car by is just driving by. They're not going up and down and back and forth.
But, like, music from other people, leaf blowers, stuff like that, I'm just like, this is unnecessary noise.
Yeah.
Like, the sound of traffic, fine.
Right.
But, like, you have neighbors. Like, stop. I don't want to listen to your noise.
Recognize that you live in an apartment in a city, and everyone around you can hear everything that you're doing.
I don't understand why they use leaf blowers instead of just a rake or a broom. Like,
so, speaking of this apartment building, I know that the gardening company comes by twice a week, Thursdays and Saturdays, as I said.
Saturdays is just rude. Like, now that I have a full-time job, my weekends are precious.
Of course they are.
I don't want to hear a leaf blower on a Saturday.
You're also going to hear it on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Friday, because one of the other tenants who also lives on the ground floor near me has his own leaf blower. His own personal leaf blower. And boy, does he love that thing. It's his favorite toy. And I really want to break it. Like, I really want to steal it. And I really just want to snap it in half and break it.
Okay. Why does he...
Why not? Because he has nothing else to do, and it's his favorite thing. He comes out, and he blows all of the trash that he and his
this is the neighbor who,
outside.
Like, leaves trash in front of their door, right? And they throw, like, bottles into the
bushes
bushes and stuff.
Everywhere around the apartment building. Just every day. Multiple times a day sometimes. Every day.
This guy also needs a job.
Yes.
Let's get him a job.
Yeah, that would be nice. Speaking of that, this man only speaks Spanish. I am a dumb white American and do not speak Spanish. Our other friend who also lives in the apartment, Alejandra, does speak fluent Spanish. And so she's spoken to him a few times. And I guess she was outside one time. She was telling me that, because she's heard me complain about it, because I complain about this nonstop, obviously. It's why it's part of the podcast. But our friend Alejandra was outside and she was talking to him, and he was like, he was out there with his leaf blower, and he was kind of like showing off to her, I guess, and saying like, oh yeah, the property management company, they don't even pay me to do this. They don't even pay me. I just do this on my own. They don't even pay me to go on strike, motherfucker. Go on strike. They're not paying you? I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, don't work for free.
You should strike right now until they pay you all that you are owed for the years that you've been using this. Yeah. You should strike. For fuck's
immediately.
sake.
Go on strike today.
Sake.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. They don't even pay you? I will pay you to fucking stop. Like, please. Luckily, I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really want a lot more information about that situation. Yeah. But I guess I won't be able to communicate with him.
I think that's it wouldn't end well. I don't think if I tried to talk to him about it, because, oh my god. Do you remember after the horrible fires that happened at the end of January here in LA?
Yes.
That, do you remember how leaf blowers were banned?
I do not remember that.
Yeah, that's because nobody fucking paid attention to it. Oh, so after the fires...
I was like, interesting. I don't remember Pasadena it being super quiet.
No, it wasn't. Pasadena County and LA County both, like, banned the use of leaf blowers because there was so much toxic ash and shit in the air.
That makes sense.
That they didn't want it being blown around even more. Like, we were trying to get in a place where, like, we were trying to put out the fires and have everything settle. Yeah. And we didn't need more wind. That was the windiest fucking 2 weeks I have ever experienced in my life anywhere that I've ever been.
That first night?
That was insane.
Remember when we were going to trivia and we were walking from the car to the brewery
and you thought you were going to get blown over?
Dirt just hitting our faces. Yeah.
I remember bringing a jacket and just like putting it over my head.
So and then the roof of the brewery is just like metal sheeting and it kept like lifting up and shaking. Yeah. And then there was a woman sitting near us who kept looking up like, what's happening? Yeah. And I was like... You know that they've been predicting these winds for 2 weeks, right? Like, what do you mean, what's happening?
Some people don't know until it's right there. But it was the windiest. So everyone,
crazy windy.
All of the city and everyone was just like, please stop, don't use leaf blowers. nobody fucking enforced it and nobody paid attention to it. Like, I saw a post that was sent to me because my hatred of leaf blowers is so prevalent. Callie actually sent me a thing that said, like, that LA County has banned leaf blowers until further notice. And, like, I could hear my neighbor leaf blowing at the same time. All of the gardeners still can't, like, nothing got canceled, nothing got postponed. Everyone was still just going about it as normal, and nobody paid attention to it. And it was so infuriating because I was like, this is my chance to finally have the break that I've always wanted for the most horrible reason.
Yeah.
But even that won't stop these stupid fucking leaf blowers.
I just don't understand. I don't understand why they can't use a fucking rake.
I hate it so much.
And also, the properties in LA, like, they're so small.
Yeah.
You could rake that area in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. The areas that we grew up raking and, like, sweeping and not even for money. Like, I did it because I was told.
Yeah.
Go fucking rake the yard.
God.
Well, and also I knew that if I raked it into a giant pile, I could jump in it.
Yeah,
Maybe we should let gardeners do that. So I have been planning to do this segment for a while because of my deep, deep hatred for leaf blowers. I did recently, during the protests, like the No Kings protests and all the protests that have been happening in LA because of the illegal deportation of American citizens, I did see a headline that an LA protester brought a leaf blower to a protest to blow tear gas back at the feds. So I would like to retract everything that I have said about leaf blowers in this entire episode. Because they're great, actually.
That's a really good use of a leaf blower.
That is, I would say, the only use that we approve of for a leaf blower. If you are at a peaceful protest and having tear gas thrown at you by federal officers,
when all you're doing is holding up a sign,
every
and
single person should have a leaf blower. Every leaf blower should be donated to those protesters. How about that? Everyone just give your leaf blower to protesters. Yeah. They need it. You don't get a rake.
Right, exactly. You get a rake and then leave the leaf blowers for fighting fascists.
Exactly.
Solid plan.
End of episode.
Exactly.
Okay, so for our closing segment today, as I said, I've been planning this episode for a little while. I did have a closing segment prepared for this. I went to Reddit and found a post of legal ways to piss off obsessive leaf-blowing neighbor.
Okay.
Which is hilarious.
I do want to hear that.
However, we received our first piece of listener mail.
Okay.
At everythingsdumb@gmail.com. Everythingsdumbpod@gmail.com.
Yes.
Sorry. And this was sent to us, excuse me, this was sent to us by a user known as I Stole Your Panties on Twitch. She follows my boyfriend Brian, streams on Twitch 4 or 5 days a week or something ridiculous like that. If you are a nerd or have nerd-like tendencies and would like to follow video game stream, he is Booster Platinum on Twitch, and this user, I Stole Your Panties, has been a big supporter and a great friend, and she has started listening to our podcast because he shouts us out on the podcast all the time, which is why I had to do it now. But she sent us a recipe after listening to our online recipes episode that I would like to share with everyone, because to not share it would honestly be a crime. Now, this is not a normal, ordinary online recipe. This was actually a recipe that was a school assignment for her son in 5th grade. They were tasked with finding a recipe for cookies.
Okay.
And they were going to compile all of these cookie recipes into a Christmas present book for the parents.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So he was just supposed to find a recipe for cookies that he liked and submit it.
Yeah.
And I guess he had a little bit of trouble finding a recipe that he wanted.
Okay.
And so instead he decided to make his own recipe and submit that to the book.
A 5th grader?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes. And I'm not sure how much baking he does, but this is the result, and I have to preface this. This was printed in a book. There was obviously not an editor of this. But let's just get into it, shall we? This is a custom cookie recipe.
Okay.
So the flavor is custom.
It's not like my custom chocolate
No,
chip.
you know when you're just in the mood
Just
for custom?
Okay.
When you're just like, I really want some custom. I feel...
Oh my God.
Is custom chocolatey? Is it fruity? We don't know. Let's read. So because this is a custom cookie recipe, there are quite a few ingredients, but I do love that they are broken up. It's not just a long list of ingredients. They are broken up into little bite-sized chunks of ingredients. Usually a recipe will put like the dry ingredients and then the wet ingredients and then others.
So he knows what he's doing.
Yes, this is clearly well thought out.
Okay.
So we're going to start with 3 cups of pecans.
What? How many cookies does this make?
Custom.
Oh.
So 3 cups of pecans. We're going with pecans. Leave a note in the comments if you disagree.
Well, it's pecans.
Okay.
And then pecan pie.
But that doesn't make sense.
It does because they eat pecan pie in the South. And in the South they say pecans. Because they're rednecks.
Okay.
But if you're from the North, you say pecan.
Pecan.
Especially if you have a British father.
Okay.
Like I do.
Okay. So 3 cups of pecans.
Oh, so fancy.
4 spoonfuls of sugar, which help the medicine go down.
Tablespoons?
So, spoonfuls is a measurement that appears quite a few times. Is it teaspoons? Is it tablespoons? It's custom, okay? So, 4 spoonfuls of sugar.
Okay.
5 spoonfuls of cinnamon. And I know what you're thinking. More cinnamon than sugar? Hold on. 2 spoonfuls of brown sugar, okay?
Oh, thank God.
This is an emotional roller coaster of a recipe. You think, wait a minute, more cinnamon than sugar? How's that going to work? No. You just get to keep reading, okay? You just got to keep going.
Saved the day.
And then you will just, this is going to be okay, you know? Okay. I feel more at ease. So we're going to move on. This is going to get a little more expensive. We're going for a cup of honey.
A cup?
1 full cup of honey.
That's a lot of honey.
I mean, that needs to hold together all the pecans, right?
Something's got to hold them
This is
together.
obviously a pecan-based custom cookie. Cinnamony, brown sugary.
It sounds good so far, but that is really a lot of honey.
It's a lot of honey. And so to mellow that out, we're going to add 2 cups of milk.
What? So now it's just pecan cereal.
We need that custom runny, custom...
I really hope there's like a lot of flour coming up.
Wait. Hold on. No. Before we get to that,
soak up the milk.
We need some more flavor in that. We got a cup of walnuts.
More nuts.
This
is not a recipe for me.
Not just pecans. More nuts. Walnuts.
Ugh.
And then 3 cups of peanuts.
What? 3 cups of peanuts?
We're mixing it up now. This is a nut
Pecans,
fiesta.
walnuts, peanuts.
Peanuts, pecans, and walnuts. This is all in the mix here. So now, moving on to the next segment of
Please give me some dry ingredients.
1 cup. This is going to be a dry ingredient. It's
Okay.
going to take a little bit of elbow grease because they don't sell this in stores. It's going to take a little bit of work. 1 cup of candy cane powder.
I beg your pardon.
I think that's what Santa uses to get up the chimney, if you know what I mean. That's
how he lasts through the whole
a cup of
Christmas
candy
night.
cane powder. That's what helps the elves make all them toys real fast.
Wait, what is that?
Cup, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You grind candy canes into a powder.
Is that where you like put it in plastic wrap and then beat it with a
Cup
rolling
of
pin?
that. I mean, I would probably use a food processor for this. This is going to be... but it's custom, you know? You do it however you
I'm
want.
trying to get an idea of the
It's probably
flavor
about
profile.
40 to 50 candy canes that you will need to get a cup of powder. Like, that's a lot.
That is a lot. Okay.
But you got to have as much candy cane powder as you have honey. I mean, obviously.
Okay,
to get
so
that
this
custom,
is a very sweet cookie.
That custom flavor. I mean, you got all those nuts. You got to balance it out.
Minty, nutty.
So now you need to add your flour, obviously, to make it into a dough.
Makes
so
sense.
that's going to be 6 spoonfuls of flour.
Wait, so there's more candy cane powder than there is of regular flour. What?
That's how custom it is.
This is not going to form any kind of cookie dough.
1/2 cup of lemon juice.
What? No. No. No.
It's to cut that candy cane powder flavor.
Lemon juice.
And also to help curdle those 2 cups of milk.
I forgot
We
about the milk.
also got 1 pint of lime juice to help with that.
Oh my god.
A pint? This is the first time we've seen a pint in here. This is far from a spoonful. Okay? 1 pint
Lime
of
juice.
So that is now the base of the recipe. At this point, there is more lime juice in this than anything.
So
it's
nuts and citrus.
This is a citrusy beverage with nuts, cinnamon, candy cane.
This is like a fucked up cocktail.
So, I'm gonna win you
With
back
like
right
a
now.
gallon
You ready?
of nuts at the
We're gonna
bottom.
mellow
Okay.
it down
Okay.
with just 1 cup of water. Which is necessary because this was so dry before.
I don't even have a response to that. Okay.
3 pints
3 pints.
orange juice.
Orange juice. Oh god. I really hope no one tried to make this.
So now, the orange juice
this
is
sounds
the
like
base.
a recipe for a bomb, honestly.
This is the orange juice is the base. And then
Yeah,
we've got the
this is
lime
now an
juice
orange
is the
juice.
next biggest thing. 1 cup of chocolate chips. I know you're a fan of chocolate chips.
I
and that's
am.
real. That flavor is super going to come through in the lime juice pints with the orange juice with the candy cane powder and also 1 cup of strawberries because you don't want to overdo it with when you're making cookies. The worst thing you can do is add too much chocolate or strawberry to overpower the pints of orange juice, okay?
And the pint of lime juice.
And this custom cookie recipe knows that, okay?
Jesus Christ.
So we are now moved on to 1 cup of banana cubes.
What? Wait, is this a fruit thing or a chocolate? I'm so confused.
Banana cubes is found in your grocer's freezer.
Wait, is that just banana cut into cubes?
We need to keep going.
Or is that a
There's quite a few more
no
ingredients.
time for questions. Okay.
I have a feeling your questions will be answered in the instructions. We need to move on. We still have a lot more to go. So we have what you really need in this recipe. This is like maybe my favorite ingredient. 4 milliliters
So this much
of strawberry juice.
What?
That's really going to make all the flavor profile is really going to pop with these 4
Yeah, that's really going to change everything.
milliliters of strawberry juice in with the pints of orange juice and lime.
Is that just a crushed strawberry? It's not like pureed strawberry.
We're gonna figure. I'm sure we will
Okay.
find out. So then we need 1 cup of cacao cubes.
The fuck is a cacao cube?
It's kind of like chocolate chips, but it's different and it's custom.
This kid knows way more about baking than I do.
Really? 3 cups of mango juice. 3 cups. Not a pint, because that would be too much.
Am I on drugs?
No,
what is happening here?
We needed some liquid in it, and then finally...
Oh, did we? We needed some more liquid.
No cookie recipe is complete. I mean, like, what's the quintessential ingredient for a cookie recipe?
Hopefully alcohol with the way this is going.
1 tablespoon of butter.
What? What the hell is that gonna do?
You know?
1 tablespoon of butter.
We need to go through the directions to figure it out.
1 tablespoon of... Okay.
Are you ready to go on this journey?
I mean, honestly, no, but go ahead.
Custom cookie recipe.
I'm so confused.
Directions. First, this is not capitalized. First, add the 2 cups of milk. Add to what? Custom.
A bowl?
Add 2 cups of milk. Then add
bathtub?
1 tablespoon of butter and mix. So we're taking one of the first ingredients with the last ingredient, which, again,
what's that
the
about?
journey of this.
He's an artist.
1 tablespoon of butter and mix. After that, add 2 of the 5 spoonfuls of cinnamon. Then add the cup of honey and mix, which is going to be difficult because mixing a cup of honey is going to be, okay.
Well, so honey and milk, okay.
Then add 3 spoonfuls of flour. Then add the 1/2 cup of lemon juice. And bake the mix for 1 minute in the oven at 250 degrees Fahrenheit.
What?
wait for 1 minute. So
wait, you bake all of that
1 minute at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, which is kind of just giving it like a warm hug.
Yeah, first of all, that's not hot enough for anything.
It's like what you warm bread up to.
Yeah.
But that's really gonna...
1 minute.
Maybe just the butter melting and mixing with 2 of the 5 spoonfuls of cinnamon and the honey. I think that's where the custom magic really
He knows
happens.
something that we don't, clearly.
After that,
Uh-huh.
add the pecans and the walnuts to the dough and mix that.
Dough?
Put the cookie dough in a pan. And add the pint of lime juice next. Add the cup of water. Then the 3 pints of orange juice. Then add the cup of chocolate chips. I'm going to pause there. There's not a period, but I feel like we should stop for a moment.
There should be. Wait, that's so much liquid.
I also love that it's 2 of the 5 spoonfuls of cinnamon. I don't see where the other 5... Are they just for ambiance? I don't see where the other 5 or the other rest of the cinnamon goes.
It's not for, like, dusting on top.
Maybe it's just to, like, fill your home with the scent of Christmas. Make sure to spread the chocolate chips around. Duh. And then add the strawberries to the cookies. Make sure you cut off the tops of the strawberries and then cut them into little cubes and then grab a banana and cut it into cubes as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what cubed banana is.
He did answer one of my questions.
Was it cubed strawberries? No, but... Clearly, yes. Again, the roller coaster of the ride. Then grab your cacao and cut it into cubes too. Add the cacao cubes to the dough and mix. Add the 4 milliliters of strawberry juice and mix. Then add the 3 cups of mango juice. See, if you did that in the wrong order, that would fuck everything up.
He has a strong grasp of the chemistry of baking.
It needs to be specific because that's the custom flavor. Then add the 3 cups of mango juice and mix. And finally, look at the bottom of the page and read the final step. If you dare. I added if you dare, but it felt like it needed it there.
Does it say look at the bottom?
It does say finally look at the bottom of the page. It's in a separate... It's the journey. I'm telling you, the suspense. This is a story.
He's a master of suspense.
This is a short story
Yeah.
in the form of the craziest fucking recipe I've ever read in my entire life. And I cannot wait to see how this ends. Are you ready?
Hopefully with a stiff drink, because this is a lot.
Finally. This is, I think, a recipe for a stiff drink, it sounds like. Finally, comma. You put the dough in a cookie tray and put this in an oven and do 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And wait for a while. When it's done, you eat the cookie after you wait 30 minutes.
30 minutes? You have to wait 30 minutes to drink your citrus slushy with 6 inches of nuts at the bottom?
Few things here.
Okay. First of all, this no dough could come of this.
Put it in a cookie tray, inside the cookie tray.
Okay.
425 degrees is what you roast vegetables at.
Yeah,
usually.
That's really hot.
This is going to be I mean, I guess you're boiling all the citrus?
Yeah.
Is that the thing? Like maybe you boil it down.
Yeah.
That's what you wait for a while. And then when it's done, you eat the cookie, by the way. This was the sleeper,
one cookie.
the whole twist at the end. It was shown to us the whole time. This is not a recipe for cookies. Mm-mm. This is a custom cookie recipe. There can only be one.
Well, so you don't have to share.
No. Why would
you? You don't have to share your 9,000 calories of nuts.
Because...
and orange juice.
These pints of citrus. This anti-scurvy recipe.
Pints of citrus juice.
I assume you must make in a bathtub or a small kiddie pool or something. The amount of space you would... The cookie tray alone. This is... I'm a little mad that I didn't write this. Like, I will never be this funny. I will never write something this funny. At the very end, enjoy in all caps.
3 pints of orange juice and then a pint of mango juice.
It's about
a pint of lime.
6 to 8 oranges make a pint of orange juice.
So you need an orange tree for this recipe.
Like a field of oranges.
For a cookie recipe.
Yeah. custom cookie recipe. This was one of my favorite things I've ever read, and I do want to encourage people to send in more things like this because this is amazing. I don't know that anyone's ever going to top this though. This is maybe the best thing we will ever receive, and I would love to challenge people, but I don't think there's ever been a more custom cookie recipe ever.
Well, I don't think anyone could even afford to make this recipe.
This is a challenge.
But also that kind of takes the pressure off if no one can beat it.
That's
Just send us your stuff. Please. You're not going to be don't worry about it.
That was one of the best, that might have been the best email I've ever received in my entire life.
So you need like a what? 80-gallon drum?
I think it's a vat. It would technically be called a vat at the size.
You need a vat?
Yes.
And then it's just so much juice.
Yes.
With a little bit of milk and then a little bit of butter. And then just
don't forget
nuts.
about the 4 milliliters of the strawberry. I mean...
Just like a foot of nuts at the bottom with the honey making it stick to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not a cookie recipe.
Custom.
I mean, he's 10, so we're going to say good job.
Well, he's in 7th grade now. This was a 5th grade project, so obviously...
so he's older and wiser.
Hopefully he's not been hitting the candy cane dust too much, and he's on the right
Forgot
track.
about the candy cane dust, honestly. Oh my god, that was a wild one.
Oh man, the journey we've all been on. Thank you so much for listening. This was, I feel healed. And I don't think that's how I would feel if I actually took a bite or a sip. I don't even know if a bite would be possible. This would be a slurp situation.
Through a straw. Which is not normally how you eat cookies.
No, but that's custom.
It's just so much juice. It's just juice and nuts.
It's healthy. It's healthy. Oh, minus the candy cane powder, it's healthy. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Our next episode will be out Friday. Victoria will be ranting about poor city planning.
Yes.
Which we did not plan with the urban development and leaf blower episode, but it just worked out that way.
Yeah, I didn't research anything about the types of trees. I am going to mention trees a little bit, but I didn't research the types, so I'm glad that you filled in that gap there.
It's all just a big puzzle, and we're just filling in each piece.
And we did not plan to do these episodes back to back, just like we didn't plan to do the...
Oh, planes, trains, and automobiles one. Yeah.
We just spend way too much time together.
We're just twins, and now we're living together practically. Thank you so much for listening and watching. You can catch more audio episodes on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can catch more video episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Please subscribe, leave us a review, rate.
Yes, please leave us a review.
Send us your content.
I don't think anyone has yet. That would be fun.
Great. Yes, we would love to know how much you love us.
Yeah.
And if you don't love us, don't leave us a review.
Don't leave a review.
We don't care.
We don't want to hear about it.
I'm so sorry. Don't care. Thank you so much. If you have a dub topic that you want us to talk about or anything that you could submit relating to old topics that we've already talked about, we promise. I mean, I know it won't be that good, but we will read it out on the podcast. Oh my god. Yeah. That was so funny. Thank you so much to I Stole Your Panties for
that was an amazing contribution.
And for listening.
Yes. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Until next time. We will talk to you guys on Friday.
Yay! Bye!